Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I had a good time doing my review of my favorite Royal Rumble moments of all time last month in January, so I thought I would exclude that to bring more to you with my favorite Elimination Chamber moments of all time. I'm going to do my top 5. It was pretty easy to knock these guys down and put them in a good little order. So this will be my top 5 countdown of the top 5 Elimination Chamber moments of my time of watching wrestling. Of course, the Elimination Chamber has been around for a good little while, but 2012, when Daniel Bryan wins the Elimination Chamber. If you go back to TLC in 2011, when Daniel Bryan cashed in to become the World Heavyweight Champion for the first time, he cashed in on Big Show. Everyone said that, hey, Daniel Bryan won't make it past the Rumble with the belt. And then it came around to Elimination Chamber. He's going to lose it at Elimination Chamber because there's no way they're going to let him go to Mania with the belt. What do you know? Daniel Bryan goes in there. He wins the whole freaking thing. I think everybody can remember Santino Marella being real strong in that Rumble, but I think Daniel Bryan stepping up to the plate and winning the Elimination Chamber, even though he was sort of punked out by Sheamus at the end, coming down and just sort of, kicking his ass and reminding him, hey, you have to fight me at WrestleMania. Took a little bit away from it, but I think everybody seeing that Daniel Bryan was going to go to WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion for the WWE was a great, great moment. Number 4 on the list is going to be from 2009, No Way Out. Of course, this was back before Elimination Chamber was its own special pay-per-view, but at that pay-per-view, there was 2 Elimination Chambers matches, one in the very beginning of the show, and one at the end. And of course, in this one, Edge was one of the lucky participants to start off the match. And within the first 3 minutes of the match, Edge was pinned. It was over for him. He was no longer going to be that guy going and having the big match. He just sort of got jobbed out in the very beginning, and it was so funny to everyone in the match that everyone stopped to point at Edge and laugh at the man. Later on in the show, come main event time, Kofi Kingston is bouncing his way down to join the Elimination Chamber for the Raw team, and Edge comes out and kicks his ass, locks the chamber door, and the match starts with no Kofi Kingston and Edge just jumping in the match. Of course, Edge would go on to win that Elimination Chamber to walk out with the WWE Championship and sort of regain his face and show everyone that he is the man, that is the guy in the WWE. One of those moments that you never thought you could predict. And ever since then, everyone has predicted this sort of a turn in Elimination Chamber every year, with me predicting Brock Lesnar to do the same at this year's Chamber with Christian. We'll have to see what happens with that, but number 4, Edge, 2009, No Way Out. Hey, what is up with number 3 on the list? We have the 2002 Elimination Chamber from Survivor Series. Of course, this was the first Elimination Chamber. Then GM Eric Bischoff stepped up to the plate to make a match that would top anything WWE had ever done in its previous years. Of course, Eric Bischoff was sort of felt like Vince McMahon was pushing him to do the best job that he could do. And at Survivor Series was the debut of, I can't remember if it's 6 tons of steel, but every year, even though Bischoff's not in the company, they use this video to push this match as being the biggest and the best of all time. In the 2002 Elimination Chamber, we saw Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Chris Jericho, Booker T, and Rob Van Dam. And this match was so awesome and it was so surprising because we had never seen anything like this. We did not know what to expect. Nobody knew if the first pinfall, even though everybody was locked into pods and chambers, was going to be the one that won it all, and maybe somebody wouldn't even have a chance to be in the match. Nobody really knew anything. Of course, the carnage that came from this was RVD, Rob Van Dam, jumping off, doing his frog splash off the top of the chamber. And of course, because the way the chamber was done, he wasn't able to hit the whole arc on his frog splash, wasn't able to get the full leaping ability that he did. He came right down on Triple H's neck, crushed his larynx, and Triple H wasn't able to breathe. How he came back from this, I have no idea. Shawn Michaels, of course, won his World Heavyweight Championship. It's his first title win since coming back, completing this true storyline of coming back to WWE to be the guy for them. What a great moment in 2002 it was for the Elimination Chamber debut, with Shawn Michaels getting the win. Number 2 on the list is from 2006, New Year's Revolution. Of course, this was the Elimination Chamber won by John Cena. Of course, at the end of this Elimination Chamber, John Cena was up against the, I thought, future of the WWE, the team of Carlito and Chris Masters. Both of these guys honestly looked like surefire main eventers for the WWE. Two guys that WWE been pushing pretty hard as the future of the WWE. The only thing is, when it came down to who was going to be the guy who pinned John Cena, they couldn't agree, which got John Cena up, and he was able to eliminate Carlito and Chris Masters in a matter of just a few seconds, going on to win the Elimination Chamber at New Year's Revolution. That looked like it was going to end the last pay-per-view of 2006 with just John Cena being the guy. Of course, this is the time that John Cena honestly was really, really bugging the WWE crowd. It seemed like, John Cena had just sort of been on a run, and he'd just been able to beat everybody, and it just got to the point of everyone was sick of seeing John Cena win and win and win. Of course, after this, we saw Vince McMahon come out and make an announcement that there was still one more match to be on this pay-per-view, and out came Edge, cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase that he had won at WrestleMania early that year. Of course, no one had done this because there had never been a Money in the Bank before, and everyone was in shock and disarray as, is this legal? Is this what's supposed to happen? Like, everyone had thought that, having the Money in the Bank briefcase, that you could just go on to WrestleMania, and that is when you cashed in and you had your main event match. No one knew that you could just cash in at any time, and of course, from listening to the Chris Jericho podcast with Edge, of course, this is a idea that Edge brought up to Vince McMahon, that sort of Vince really ran with, and Edge thought, if you want everyone to hate me and me to be this big villain that, everyone just totally despises, why not just take the easy way out, not even be in the Elimination Chamber, wait till it's all over, and just go one-on-one with John Cena after he's already been to hell and back. Everybody knows that when Edge won the title from John Cena, it just created this instant buzz with everybody heading over to WWE.com, everybody making sure they watched Raw the next night, of course, with the live Raw sex celebration with Edge and Lita, and just being wow, somebody actually beat John Cena. That is why this is number 2 on my countdown of the top moments in the Elimination Chamber history. I gave number 1 to my favorite Elimination Chamber match of all time. It's hard not to give it to this one, but this is from Elimination Chamber 2010. Of course, this is the main event. Of course, this is probably one of the last times SmackDown got a main event on a pay-per-view. Of course, everyone knows that this is the time when Undertaker was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at this time over on SmackDown, and he was, owning shit, and he was in the chamber. Not only did this chamber start off with a malfunction with Undertaker, walking out onto the stage, and the fire going off too early, and just Taker's on fucking fire to start this match. He has to come down to the ring, he has to douse himself with water, and because he is the main event, he is the main event angle, there is no WrestleMania 26 without Taker fighting this match. He hikes up his sack and he says, let's fucking do this, and he still wrestles the match, yet he was just on fire. Of course, everyone knows the backstory of Shawn Michaels going into WrestleMania 26, being so just taken over with the fact that he came so close to beating the streak at WrestleMania 25, and he just made one simple mistake, just going for that jump off the top rope, and just saying that if he wouldn't have done that, being caught up and being thrown into the tombstone, he would have been the man to end the streak, and he needed one more shot. He had gone to Taker a few times, and Taker had turned him down, saying that he didn't want to have the match again. He wanted a different opponent for this year's WrestleMania. And Michaels was just content that he was just going to make sure that this, happened. He went into the Royal Rumble knowing that if he would have won the Rumble, Taker would have had to fight him, because he would have had the chance to choose to fight for any championship, and he would have chose the World Heavyweight Championship. Made it just better that Taker was the champion at that time. But we get down in the Elimination Chamber, and it gets down to the final two, Undertaker and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho plays the awesome heel, saying just like, F this, I don't want to fight Taker. He almost makes it seem like if there was any way for him to get out of the Elimination Chamber, he just would have gone out and ran off and said, I'll live to fight another day. I'm not fighting Taker. He, locked himself in one of the pods, and Taker had to bust him open in order to get him out of there, just saying, like, we're going to do this my way, and we're going to get this over fast. But Shawn Michaels snuck his way into the Elimination Chamber. He came up from the bottom of the ring, underneath where the grates were, just when Taker had his back turned. Michaels set up, Taker turned around, and he delivered the sweet chin music, knocking out Undertaker, making Chris Jericho pin the man. 1, 2, 3, making Chris Jericho the new World Heavyweight Champion. He would go on to fight Edge at WrestleMania 26, setting up the blood feud between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. The streak versus the career was finally set in stone, because Shawn Michaels had cost Undertaker the World Heavyweight Championship at Elimination Chamber 2010. My favorite moment. Make sure you guys make your countdowns and send them over to me via Twitter at Stevie Breach, or however the hell else you can contact me. I don't really know how to use the private messenger here on YouTube anymore, but if you needed to get it to me, I bet you can. At Stevie Breach. Peace out, everybody.